Hi folks, Florida Man here, bringing you an opening overview today that will cover two different possible openings for England. These are the southern openings, according to Wikipedia. Both of them involve England moving to the English Channel and North Sea, which is the most committed decision that an English player can make in spring 1901, but one of these openings is noticeably more committed than the other. We will discuss why people make these particular openings and whether they are justified in this opening overview. The southern opening Wales variation is an opening maneuver where you move to English Channel, North Sea, and Wales. This is the most anti-French opening that's possible for an English player that isn't kind of insane. Opening to Wales makes it obvious that you are a direct threat to France, since that means you can convoy directly into Picardy or Brest. Depending on France's opening, he may or may not be able to stop you from landing boots on the ground in French territory if you choose this route. The cons of this opening are as follows. It's very aggressive and overt, so it will almost always antagonize France and give Germany the choice between the two of you as allies. It depends on France letting you into the channel to be effective at all, so you have to keep it quiet that you're doing this, or you lose any chance of effectiveness. Speaking of which, there are common French openings that would make this opening much less effective for England. If France moves to Picardy and mid-Atlantic Ocean, your convoy will likely fail because France will probably bounce himself in Brest. And whether France lets you into the channel or not, there's a good chance you won't end up with a build as a result of this. Without a unit in Norwegian Sea, there's no way you can guarantee Norway if Russia opened north. If you don't get a build in 1901, you can rest assured that France will punish you in 1902 and 1903. On the other hand, the possible pros are pretty substantial too. You could get a French home center or position to get one in the very first year. If you force France to defend Brest, you could prevent him from building a fleet there, which would blunt the impact of having France annoyed with you. You could win Germany over with the boldness of your opening, and whether you get Norway or not, England can frequently get into Belgium from this opening. Although it's not always a guarantee, it is likely to succeed since you have units in North Sea and the Channel. You may find yourself being supported into Belgium by Germany or even France, because some French players will try to appease England when caught by surprise like this. On balance, this is an opening that depends for its effectiveness on France having his guard down, and I really don't care for that limitation. That aside, if you feel like you have a good understanding of the feelings and plans of your neighbors, this opening can be a good gamble to take that allows you to establish yourself in the West more quickly than the northern openings. England is always one of the more difficult countries to play in the best of times anyway. I think this is a good opening for many situations. Looking to the other variation of the southern opening, it involves moving Liverpool to Yorkshire instead of Wales. In short, it's basically a slightly less risky version of the Wales version, at least in theory. I think that rather than calling it a safer version, I would think of it as a more timid version of the opening. You might be doing this particular move planning to bounce France in the Channel and then keep open the possibility of convoying to Norway or Belgium. If you think France is actually going to the Channel for some reason, this is a pretty decent opening move, because it keeps the French fleet away from your sacred homeland without signaling any hostility on your part, like a move to Wales would have. On the other hand, if you are actually expecting your opening moves to succeed, I think opening to Yorkshire is kind of the worst of both worlds in terms of compromises. Most players as France will probably still be annoyed at seeing you in the Channel, which is one of the most negotiated over spaces on the map in the early game, and which you therefore probably promised to stay out of earlier. If you promised to keep out, and you violated that promise, you should just make the more aggressive opening. If you didn't promise to stay out, your move here might be seen as more diplomatic, but will France still be anti-English after this opening? There's still a pretty good chance unless you actually announced your intention in advance. In that case, this again might be a decent opening, but either way, this is an opening that's basically only good if you're sharing information with France or expecting to be deflecting an attack from France, which is either a rather timid 1901 decision by England or an unfortunate circumstance to be in. This opening also doesn't signal much to Germany because your fleet in the Channel is nearly toothless without an army to transport. So I'm sure there are circumstances where this opening is appropriate, but I think it's going to be just as rare as the very aggressive Wales opening that we were just talking about, if not more so. However, this might be the bold pirate perspective of England that keeps getting me killed when I play that country. So your evaluations of this opening can very reasonably differ from mine. I'm not going to give a strong opinion on it. I hope you enjoyed this opening overview. If you did, you should probably like, subscribe, and comment, like all the cool kids. I would enjoy your thoughts on the southern openings for England, but I also don't mind even if you comment something weird like that the Waffle House has found its new host, whatever the heck that means. We hope you'll also consider joining the merry band of patrons and translators, credited here by name for their contributions. The patrons get access to exclusive content through my Patreon, which has been rapidly increasing in volume in recent months. There are podcast episodes, blog posts, and exclusive videos behind that paywall. For $1 or $2 a month, you can check it out for yourself. Link in the description. Until next time, Florida Man, out.